Let me get this right. We got no campaign manager, no infrastructure. Cardi B, abolish ICE in Texas. I'm gonna need somebody to explain to me how this was ever supposed to work. My name's Tim Black, and welcome back to the Tim Black Show, the most dangerous show in America. I have 8 reasons why Jasmine Crockett will be going home as a regular citizen come January. Here's the deal. If you like this video, you get something from it, subscribe, become a follower of the channel. Here we go. Because I love you and I rock with you, we're going to start with number 8. 80% of Black Americans did not vote in Texas. 80% of Black Americans did not cast a vote in the Democratic primary. Now, yeah, Jasmine Crockett did really well with the Black Americans that came out, but 80% of Black America did not come out. And Jasmine Crockett's entire stance, her whole argument for why she should win was that she could get Black people to come out. She could get people that didn't normally vote in primaries to come out. That didn't happen. Now, don't get me wrong, a lot of people came out, but that was whites, Asians, Native Americans, Latinos, and Black Americans. That's across the board. I'm talking about, fam, Texas has the largest amount of Black Americans of any state in America. Sheer numbers, right? Now, it's that over-indexing on the amount of voters, though. It's like pretty even, right? No group has a dominant number in the state. It's pretty evenly distributed. But here's the thing. If Jasmine Crockett could not get Black Americans to come out in unprecedented numbers, and it was possible, she wasn't going to win. Now, why didn't she get people to come out? Why did more Black Americans get ignited and excited about this Black woman running? Is it because she Black and they don't like Black women? No, I don't think that's it. I think you got to look at the rest of this list that'll tell you why. Number 7, Jasmine Crockett did not have a campaign manager. I'm going to need you to tell me, what kind of campaign are you running when you don't need nobody to manage it? That don't make sense. How seriously can you tell me that she was taking this campaign if she didn't have people helping her run the campaign? If she's trying to run her own damn campaign, it shouldn't have been her. So while we're picking at each other, going at each other online, arguing, pointing fingers, Black women pointing fingers at Black men, Black voters pointing fingers at white people, everybody pointing fingers at the Latinos, how about we point a couple fingers at Jasmine Crockett? Because Jasmine Crockett was supposed to hire a campaign manager. That's kind of necessary. You wouldn't open a restaurant without front house staff. You wouldn't run a restaurant without having a cook, a chef. You wouldn't have parking at the restaurant without a valet. You wouldn't have people there if no one's going to clean the bathrooms. So you mean to tell me you got a campaign? You run to upseat the Republican Party and you don't have a campaign manager? And what kind of chance does this campaign have if it did not have the proper infrastructure in place? I'll tell you, next to none. In fact, considering the fact she did not have a campaign manager and the adequate amount of infrastructure in place, I say she did pretty good. Because she just winging it on a hope and a prayer. Number 6, I think she hung around with Joe Biden too much. She forgot what was going on. I didn't know dementia was contagious. What I mean by that is, I think Jasmine Crockett actually forgot she was running in the Democratic primary. It's almost like she kind of switched bodies with Kamala Harris and thought she was running against Donald Trump. Yeah, because most of her talking points were about Trump. She wasn't even focused on the fact she's running against James Tallarico. Now, either she didn't take him seriously or she thought, hey, He's small potatoes. I'm Jasmine Crockett. Me, I got name recognition. Everybody know me. Everybody know Jazz with the pizzazz and the sass. I ain't got to worry about this little white boy. I'm over here. I'm running against Big Trumpy Trump. I'm his arch nemesis. In order for Jasmine Crockett to become senator, she's got to beat the Republican. But to have an opportunity to beat the Republican, she has to defeat the Democratic primary opponent, James Tallarico, and this other guy. Yeah, it appears that Jasmine Crockett, she skipped too many steps. Number 3, and this was the number one reason to a lot of Black Americans that were in my comment section. They say Jasmine Crockett's main focus was immigrants. That's right. Her main focus was undocumented immigrants, illegal aliens, however you want to put it. They felt she had betrayed her natural base, which was Black voters, and opted to go after undocumented immigrants. That alienated a lot of Black voters that she needed. Remember, her main strategy was to get Black Americans out, Black Americans who feel disaffected. They feel like this system doesn't work for them. She was supposed to get them to come out. Guess what? Talking about trans kids playing basketball, her trans babies, and talking about undocumented immigrants is not a way to get Black voters to come out who don't usually come out and vote in primaries. Yeah, you ain't got to be a political science major to figure that out. Okay? So when y'all ripping each other apart in comment sections all across the internet, remember this: people want to be prioritized. And just like the Democrats like to say, the Democratic Party skips focusing on its base, which are Black Americans. Well, it looks like Jasmine Crockett did the same exact thing. She was focused on her base, which was Latinos, and she didn't win them. Because, Latinos don't want you focusing on undocumented immigrants either. Because I know it may sound crazy, but a lot of Latino Americans are citizens. And they have the same concerns and issues that Black Americans and white Americans and Asian Americans and Native American Americans have. And that's not to focus on undocumented people who are in this country, undocumented. And this reason right here is one that really hits home. Abolish ICE. Jasmine Crockett wanted to abolish ICE. She made it very clear she wanted to abolish ICE. And folks, you're in a red state of Texas, and you talk about abolishing ICE, and you can't come up with a better way to frame that. Yeah, you're putting all your money, all your chips on a losing number. That's what you're doing. This was never going to work. She needed better language, and she needed to stay away from the abolish ICE push in Texas. Because you're representing the people. You're not representing your ideology. You're not representing a certain progressive group. You are representing the citizens of Texas. Citizens, not the inhabitants. Not people that got here yesterday. I'm talking about the citizens of Texas. And this one, I didn't see this one coming, y'all, but apparently a lot of people were pissed off about this. Cardi B. Yeah, a lot of people are upset that Cardi B endorsed Jasmine Crockett because it made Jasmine Crockett look trashy. Yeah, a lot of people find Cardi B to be repugnant. I know the Democrats love carting her out as if she's a great spokesperson for politics, but she isn't, okay? A lot of Black Americans particularly see Cardi B as worse. They see her as garbage when it comes to like what she promotes. Just telling you what it is. And then there are others that just see her as irrelevant. And it's like dumbing down the whole conversation. They almost feel ashamed or embarrassed that this person would be like an endorser. Yeah, like, Bring out Michelle Obama, bring out Oprah, bring out, I don't know, people with an intellect that would make black people feel great to be associated with her. You know what I'm saying? Bring out Viola Davis. Bring out, I don't know, Ava DuVernay. Bring out women that are notable, who are credible. Not strippers, not pole dancers, not twerkers. And it's kind of obvious. I mean, Cardi B has been a part of two campaigns, the Kamala Harris campaign and the Jasmine Crockett campaign, and both campaigns lost. So maybe the next time Cardi B wants to endorse a campaign, if it was me, I'd be like, nah, please don't. We good. We don't need your endorsement. Thank you. Going over there. Sit down, you and Megan, and Glorilla, go have a seat. 2, this one's stylistic. A little stylistic to it. Has to do with preference. A lot of people feel that Jasmine Crockett was just too damn self-centered. Too much about herself. From the opening, she made a video. Her opening video was Donald Trump talking about her. Not her talking about Texans. Not her talking about what she's going to do for people. Not her talking about black Americans. No, her talking about nothing. And listening to Trump and her painting herself as a victim. It's centered, a lot of her focus has been her. Baby, I'm out here risking everything for y'all. Look what I did for y'all. I'm out here fighting for y'all. I'm a fighter for y'all. I got the courage, y'all, to go up against Donald Trump. And you know what? That wasn't enough for people to want to come out, right? That was not enough for people to want to line up like she thought they were. In fact, people were turned off by it. There's a saying for this that goes back to my upbringing in the golden age of hip-hop. I think it was Biggie. Never get high on your own supply. Baby. Oh. Yeah. Jasmine Crockett started believing her own press, her own PR coverage. She started believing her biggest fans. And she considered those who were critics of her haters, instead of people with a valid point, at least something she could consider. And I think that was really a big issue, because why would you think you don't need a campaign manager? You think you can run it yourself. Word on the street is she doesn't take suggestions well. She doesn't take instructions well. She's not a great team player well. A lot of things, I think a lot of it is rooted in she's got a humongous ego. Now, don't get me wrong. You got to have an ego, and you have to have some audacity, right, to think that you can represent millions of people, right? But at some point, you got to be humble enough to say, I don't know it all. I'm willing to listen. Help me. And I think basically a lot of people felt that she was not trying to take direction. She wasn't trying to take advice. She gave off the, we got this, we know what we're doing. Like when they said, what was the sister that interviewed her that asked her, are you going to get Trump votes? Do you need Trump votes to win? And she wasn't like most politicians that be like, well, yeah, we would love to welcome Trumpers over. Of course we need Trump voters. We need everybody who wants a better direction for Texas. And she was like, nah, we don't need no damn Trump voters. Not at all. And that's crazy. Because Texas is a red state that overwhelmingly went for Trump. My final reason why Jasmine Crockett lost, she took that AIPAC money. Oh my God, a lot of progressives can't stand that AIPAC has such a stranglehold on our politics. And the fact she took that money made a lot of them very bitter with her, very, very bitter, very disappointed, very much let down. A lot of enthusiasm was lost when she took that AIPAC money. And here's the thing about Jasmine Crockett. She didn't take any direct AIPAC money, but she did take about $82,000 worth of individual donations of people that were affiliated with AIPAC. So AIPAC's got such a stigma hanging over their heads. They don't give directly, but they give indirectly via individuals. Basically, it looks like they give individuals money and those individuals give money. You know, like Bezo bucks. I don't know, and here's the thing. I mean, regardless of that, the truth is Tallarico was outspoken against the war in Gaza, and Jasmine Crockett wasn't. So not only is she taking individual donations from people affiliated with AIPAC, she's also very soft on the war and not as supportive as Tallarico was on ending the war and the Palestinians. And she was more staunchly Israel, which is not hard to figure out. So a lot of progressives said, no, we're not supporting Jasmine Crockett for those reasons. If you ain't gonna stand up for the Palestinians, if you ain't gonna stand up against AIPAC money, if you're gonna side with Israel, well then, how can we trust you? Well, there you have it, family. Now look, they're gonna blame racism, they're gonna blame black men, they're gonna blame Dallas County. But I just gave you 8 receipts. Make your own mind up. Hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Also, stay dangerous. Wolfpack.